Greetings my friends, and as you can probably tell by the thumbnail and also where we are at the moment, Napoleon Total War won the vote for the next Total War game and indeed the next campaign that we shall be playing. And it came ahead with quite a few. Over 30% of the votes came for Napoleon, slightly behind by I believe just under 20 votes behind was Rome 2. More on that later, my friends, more on Rome 2 later. And of course after that then was Medieval 2, we had Attila, and then sort of the other Total War Warhammer, and indeed Shogun followed after that. But by a large majority, Napoleon Total War was the actual winner. Now I know that there were a few comments saying that it's quite close to Empire Total War, and indeed my friends you are right there, but we are going to bring a little bit of difference here to this. So I did ask for what the best possible mod was, because you know, try to be as honest as I possibly can with you, my friends. I haven't really kept up with the mod scene with Napoleon Total War, so that's why I was asking for your advice. Initially I was going to put the mod to a vote, but in the end all we would get get bogged down with vote after vote after vote, and in the end, you know, the campaign is going to take, you know, almost a month to sort of be realised. But that don't want to happen. So the majority of the comments in terms of the mod were actually in a Darth mod. So I have actually chosen and sort of made an executive decision, as it were, in terms of the mod. Now, the reason I've gone for Darth mod as well, I looked at some of the other mods, and Darth mod to me seemed the most stable in terms of the mods. Now, that's not to say that any of the mods weren't, you know, a fantastic choice, and I did look, and there were a few that I was sort of leaning towards. But in the end, Darth mod won out, both for its stability and also because it gave us the option, as you can see here, to play some very sort of unique nations as well, nations we aren't able to play in Empire. And I really wanted to give it a little bit of diversity, this campaign. I wanted it to be, although some are saying that it's quite close to Empire Total War, even though that is it still gives us this mod, Darth mod, the option to go completely almost left field in terms of the sort of nation we're going to start with. We're not starting with any of the major nations at all. We are not going to start with any. We're going to start with a very small nation here. As you can see, the first nation we have here is Kingdom of Norway, as you can see here in the sort of Scandinavian province here. And then we have Kingdom of Hungary down here, of course, bordering Austria and sort of the Eastern Europe. We have, of course, Kingdom of Greece down here, sort of in the Mediterranean. You know, that sort of real sort of hotbed there with the Ottoman Empire, and indeed sort of North Africa across the way there. Then we have Khanate of Crimea, or as we know in Empire Total War, Crimea Khanate, of course, right there, right in the heart of sort of the Russian sort of vanguard is in the Black Sea there. So that really is would be quite a huge undertaking, that would. Then we have, of course, our old friend Duchy of Courland. Again, those of you who have been watching some of my Empire Total War campaigns, particularly the USA one, you'll know that that is really bordering between Prussia and Russia, so we'd be sort of sandwiched between those two. Then the real sort of unusual one, which I haven't seen before, Scotland. Now Scotland, my friends, would be a huge undertaking. It really would. But again, that would be undertaking, but it was also maybe possibly one of the safer ones as well, because of its location, of course, but not entirely safe, because remember you'd have England, and also later on you'll probably have another nation as well on your doorstep. So again, that's not necessarily that going that direction. Then of course we have then Duchy of Brittany, which of course is in the French regions here, or what we know now as sort of latter-day France. Then we have here Catalonia, the Kingdom of Catalonia, again within the Spanish, sort of the east of Spain, so that we'd have sort of Barcelona and the Catalonian region. So as you can probably tell, that's really is, you know, very sort of close to the Spanish, what it is next door. It is the neighbour of the Spanish Empire. Then we have here Kingdom of Belgium, again, which is sort of bordering what would be latter-day Holland and indeed France. That's sort of the sandwich between those two there. Then we have Kingdom of Westphalia. Again, that would be sort of moving over towards the sort of Central Eastern Europe, that sort of particular land. Now, many of you are saying, Mallow, why aren't you sort of going in and showing us where it is? I want us to really sort of enter this where I'm going to do a prelude episode. So whatever you choose, there's going to be a prelude episode, so we can see what nation is the nation whatever nation you've chosen, and then we're going to move into that sort of into the campaign map, and then from there I'll get, of course, the council's advice, and all that advice will be fed into the campaign. Then you will guide whatever campaign it is. I don't really want to go into it. I want it almost to be, how can I say, not a surprise, but I want us to go in there with complete fresh eyes. I don't want us to be able to see where we're going. I want this almost to be the real challenge that we can set ourselves out for here. So we're not going to dive in yet and sort of start working out strategies. I want us to just sort of, I want you, my friends, to choose what you would like to see of any of these. And of course there will be a straw poll link in the description for this video, and that will list all of these, and of course that is entirely up to you then what you want to go. So of course we've got Kingdom of Westphalia, then we have a sort of electorate of Brunswick-Lüneburg, which are basically is latter-day Hanover, and again that is on sort of the border of what would be latter-day Holland, and then sort of moving over towards Denmark, that sort of, you know, that sort of northern tip of almost Central Europe. Then we have House of Savoy, and those you may know where Savoy is. That is sort of lodged in, sort of right in the middle almost, there in Central Europe, moving down towards sort of the Italian sort of redoubt there, as it were, the Italian mainland there. So he's sort of, again, looking at really that sort of central belt there of Europe. Then we have the Principality of Wallachia. Now, I hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong. I do apologise if I'm pronouncing that wrong. My pronunciations aren't the best. I do apologise if I have sort of insulted anybody. And, you know, as you can see here, it's got Romalia, Greece, Balkan. So we're looking at that sort of, what would be sort of Yugoslavia, that sort of area there. What would be now Serbia and Austria, and that area there, sort of surrounding the sort of the almost the southern states of Europe. Then we have here, then we have Republic of Venice. Now we know that Venice is sort of going to be, you know, really sort of locked in here in this sort of just in between Italy and sort of Eastern Europe, or the Balkans, should we say. Then we have, of course, Duchy of Warsaw, Poland, of course. We know where that is, Eastern Europe, firmly in Eastern Europe. And on the sort of on the doorstep of Russia, has, of course, the Balkans around that as well, and also moving in towards, you know, sort of that western tip of Europe. And then, of course, my friends, is Ireland, which, you know, that really is a huge challenge there. But Ireland, again, an unusual sort of position to be in, and probably wouldn't be that powerful either, considering you've already got the British Isles already carved up into England, Scotland and Ireland. So that, my friends, are the nations that are going to be at your disposal. I'm not going to go into any detail at all in terms of where they are. You can obviously see on the map, when I click on this, you can see on the map where each one is, or the lands they're looking to take. These green lands here are probably the objectives, as you can see here. They've got different ones. So you'd have to take Greece, Croatia, Bavaria, Northern Italy, Catalonia, Venice, Sicily, Papal States. So again, as you can see in each of these, you can read down here what each one, you know, I've gone for historical, very, very hard. And we're going to go for world domination. We'll go for world domination on this one. So that's capture 60 regions. But 60 regions is immaterial, my friends. We're going for full domination. That means capturing everything. So I don't usually stick to victory conditions. We're going for world domination. And it's going to be on very hard, very hard. And I know that this Darth mod, reading the notes on Darth mod, has been tweaked significantly, especially the AI, and the sort of our enemy and the opposition will be very, very stiff indeed. So we're already putting ourselves in a challenging position, but that's what we want, my friends. That's what I personally enjoy. I enjoy that challenge, even if it was only to last 5 or 10 turns. In terms of course, I want the campaign to go as long as possible, but that challenge, that real sort of challenge you can throw yourself in, where you have to really plan well in advance, you have to think and strategize really, really deeply to make sure that you're not sort of, you know, put on the hop and after 1 or 2 turns it's all over. So again, but that will be down to you, my friends. Everything in this campaign will be geared and put into position by the council. The council will effectively run this council. I am just merely the vessel from which your proposals, your plans, your strategies, your tactics will flow from. So again, whomever you choose, whichever these nations you choose, and again, the link will be in the description to the straw poll. And then what we'll do, I'll do a prelude episode where we will just look at where we are. We will look at our enemies, our potential enemies, our allies, trade. We will look at armies. We will look at everything, strategies. We'll look at government, every single thing. We won't move a single thing. We won't do a single thing. It's a prelude, so just so we get we can gain your input. And from there we will then move into episode 1, and from episode 1 the council will guide us onwards to wherever that might be. But again, be under no illusion, my friends, this would be a difficult challenge, because all of these nations are minor nations. They are not massive nations. We've still got France in there. We've still got Prussia in there. We've still got Russia in there. We've still got Austria in there. We've still got the Ottomans in there. You know, really well-established titans of the time, especially France, and especially Russia. So those two nations already. So wherever you choose for us to be, we will, my friends, have a huge challenge on our hands. But oh my goodness me, it will be glorious. It will be a glorious, glorious challenge, and I for one cannot wait. Now there is another campaign that I'm going to do. Also, I'm going to change the length of, not episodes, but how many each episode I put out of each campaign. So I'm going to probably reduce them down to 2 episodes per campaign, because there's another campaign that I want to bring in. You will see that coming up very, very soon. It'll probably come in before the Napoleon campaign comes in. And I don't think, oh man, we voted for Napoleon, you've put something else out beforehand. Napoleon will still be put in. This is without doubt. The council have voted, and Napoleon Total War will be here, my friends. But I wanted to bring something in that was voted for already by yourselves, and something that I've wanted to do also. It's been an excellent sort of excuse, should I say, that you voted for it in quite high numbers, but it didn't win. But it's a campaign that I've personally wanted to do myself for a while. So I thought, well, this is a perfect opportunity to do so. But Napoleon will definitely be still put into place, my friends. So I'm just going to rejig a few things where most campaigns will probably see only 2 episodes, so we can fit all these things in. Some will see, 3 episodes, depending on how fast we want them to progress or how well they're doing, or indeed if the sort of the campaign warrants us to be pushing on for 3 campaigns to sort of really push the campaign, because it's on a pivotal point or a turning point. Then we will do that, my friends. But you're going to see quite a few things coming up of late. I still haven't forgotten about doing the thank you to the sort of the council, in honouring the council. That's still going to come up as well. I've got a few other things in the pipeline, but as you can imagine, my time is very, very short at the moment, and I really do wish I could put out a lot more videos for you. I think I think all you to sort of honour your commitment and your wonderful support for this. I really do wish that sometimes I could put out many more videos, but at the moment my time is so restricted. I really can't do so, my friends. So I hope you can understand. But enough of my waffling, enough of my rambling. I hope you like what I have done here, and I hope you're going to enjoy this upcoming. But again, this will be the council's decision once again. So, and you will also see, I will put up the sort of the graph, that shows where the votes went, so that everybody can see who did win, what came second and third, and that. So, anyway, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed this. And again, please get voting. There will be a link down in the description as well. Choose whatever you want and whatever you'd like to see, and from there, my friends, we'll go on. But the next video you'll see based on this will be a prelude to whichever nation has won this particular vote. But anyway, my friends, I hope I find you in good fettle, and whatever you're doing, my friends, please be safe. Have a good week, whatever you're doing. But until next time, bye for now.